Okay, friends, let's go through and talk about infinite solutions now and what those look like with our substitution and elimination options. Remember, infinite solutions as a graph means that they are going to be the same line, right? Because they are lying on top of each other. There's infinite points of intersection. However, with substitution or elimination, we're again going to see these variables combined to zero, just like we saw with a no solution. So we'll end up with like a 0x, but what we'll be left with this time though is a true equation. And whether it's like 0 equal x equals 0 or 4 equals 4, it's going to be something that is going to be true. So let's go through and see some examples of that. So first, here's an elimination problem, right? And again, I can't tell by looking at it to begin with, but let's go through and I'll multiply the top equation by 5 and the bottom equation by 2, right? So we start going through and you multiply that out. Oh, 5 times 28. Should have been ready for that one. 5 times 28 is 140. And then we go through and do the bottom, and I again get 10x here plus a 20y there. Again, I get 140 here. And hopefully you're like, okay, now I see it. I see my matches, so I'm going to subtract. So when I'm all said and done here, again, I have the 0x, but I also have a 0y, but now also equals 0. So I get the 0 equals 0, which we know is true, right? That's a true statement, which just means that these are infinite solutions, that these guys at the heart of it, if I would solve them both for y equals, they would be the same y-intercept and the same slope. Let's go through and look at one with substitution. So again, with substitution, I can't tell by looking at these guys that they are the same. So I just assume that I'm going to go through and solve this like I normally would. So I'm going to go through and do my substitution step. So I'm going to have that negative 10x plus 2. And now when I plug in my y is 5x plus 12 here, equals that 24, and I go through and I do my distributing, right? You guys know the methods here. So I have that negative 10x plus my 10x plus that 24 equals 24. And again, these guys here are going to combine to 0, right? This guy is gone to that 0x, but I'm left with 24 equals 24. And even if you try to go through and you balance and you subtract 24 from both sides, you'll end up with 0 equals 0. I still end up with this true statement here, which again means that these guys were infinite solutions. I got the 0x, which tells me it's one of my unique solutions, and it is infinite because I got a true statement there, 24 equals 24. Okay, that's the end of the notes for unique solutions. You know what to do, right? You know how to graph, you know how to substitute, and how to eliminate, but we have to sort of see what happens when we end up with that uniqueness of it. So this guy gets glued onto notebook page 83, and then notebook page 84 is going to be some practice.